Hello there, and thanks for joining me for the accounting and finance coaching sessions. My name is Echela Okwori, and today I want us to look at something very simple, something that will benefit not just accountants but everybody, all users of accounting information, something that will benefit business owners. I want us to talk about the life cycle of a product. Or, if we don't want to call this the life cycle of a product, we could also call it we could say product life cycle. Good. So whichever you want, acceptable. Both are acceptable, okay? So you could say the life cycle of a product, or we could say the product life cycle. Now, essentially, a product has four phases. The first one is the introduction stage. The introduction, you could say development and introduction. Good. So this is the first phase. Every product or most products go through these four phases. And the first phase, I said, is the introduction stage, where the product is developed and introduced to the market. At this point, the business owner is not making profit. At this point, awareness has not been created. So this is a time for you to create awareness about your product. This is a time for you to tell people about your product. This is a time that you're trying to actually penetrate the market. So the best pricing strategy at this point is what we call the penetration pricing strategy. You look at all your competitors, and then you take a price that is beneath all of them. So you are trying to penetrate the market, and you are using what we call a penetration pricing strategy. But I'm not talking about pricing. That is a class for another day. So at this point, you are introducing the product. You are not making profit. Production costs are very high at this point. They are very high because you are not able to buy much. You are not able to produce much. So your cost of production is very high. The cost of purchase is very high. So at this point, if you are able to break even, good for you. But most people are not able to break even at this point. And the break-even point is that point where there is no profit and there is no loss. So for most products, at this point, what they make is actually a loss. But for some people, they may be able to break even. So at this point, profit is low. Even sales are actually low at this point. So it is the introduction stage. The next stage is the growth stage. Now, this growth stage, this is the second stage. At this point, you are beginning to do better than here. So at this point, you can see that the cost of production is lower, okay, because of you are beginning to enjoy what we call economy of bulk purchase. Because you are buying much, the volume of your sales have increased. Awareness is already created. People have come to identify your product as a product that gives them value. So you have more people purchasing your product. You have more people patronizing your service. At this point, because of that, because of the large volume of sales you are making, you are able to buy more. And when you buy more, you get discounts and rebates. When you get discounts, you are able to enjoy what we call economy of bulk purchase. You are buying more, so the supplier gives you some discount. And because of that, the costs for you, your costs become lower than before. So at this point, you begin to make profit. You are making profit. You are making profit. The market is growing. You are taking a big size of the market. You know, you are having more revenue. You are not just breaking even, you are making profits. At this point, you are making profits. You have lower costs. Lower costs. Your cost of production becomes lower because you are buying more and because more people are patronizing you. So this is a very, very good stage. It is the growth stage. The business is growing. Okay, the business is growing. Now the third stage, let's look at the third stage. So we say introduction, here we say growth. And number 3, we talk about maturity. A maturity stage. Now at this point, you are not just making profit, you have taken a big chunk of the market. The market is saturated at this point with your products. Okay? You have what we call peak sales. Peak sales. Your sales are at the highest. Okay? Your product is everywhere in the market. You have a big chunk of the market. You've taken a big size of the market. People have known your products. Your products are acceptable. They are everywhere. But one thing that happens at this point is that you have stable profit. Stable profit. At this point, your profit is stable. The profit is no longer increasing like it was at the growth stage. Your profit at this point is just stable. It's actually like this. It is not like this. Your profit is not rising. It is just very stable. So at this point, it is also a very good point for you because your product has matured. And at this point, you are peaking your sales and you have stable profit. Now, the next stage that I want us to look at is the decline. The decline. The decline stage. At this point, your product that saturated the market is now nosediving. The product begins to come down. It begins to fall. It begins to decline. Your sales begin to decrease. Your profit begins to come down. Why is this happening? Now, psychologically, we could say that people have become tired of your product. They have become tired of your product. Another reason could be because of obsolescence. Obsolescence is where your product is actually okay. The quality is still the same. Nothing has changed. It's still very okay. But a newer product has been introduced to the market that can give people more satisfaction, that has more capacity, that can produce more, that can satisfy people more. So your product has become obsolete. In other words, technology has taken over your products. Technology has introduced something better. So at this point, people are tired of your product because they've been patronizing it over the years and they feel that there is nothing new about your product. Your product is no longer unique to them. So at this point, you get to the decline stage. Now, what do you do at this point? And this is why I decided to bring this class. It is important for you as an entrepreneur or as somebody in business. It's very important for you to know that typically products pass through this introduction stage, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and then they get to the decline stage. So when you get to this decline stage that people are tired of your product, what are you expected to do? You are expected to revitalize this product. Revitalize your product. You have to rebrand. You rebrand, okay? You have to make people feel that your product, even though it is the same, you know that it's still the same product, but you need to make them see your product as a new product that has added value. Let people know that you have added value. Give people the impression that you have added value to your product. How do you do this? You do what we call re-engineering. You can do some product re-engineering. You can do some rebranding. That is why you find some popular products like Coca-Cola and all that. You find them after some time, they bring in a new package. Sometimes you find these malt drinks. They do a new logo for their products. They do a new tin. If it's a can, they change the can. They shape it differently. But the content remains the same. But what they are doing at this point, they are re-engineering. They are rebranding their product so that when you look at it, you think that there is something unique about it. People were already tired. Psychologically, they were tired of your product because they've been patronizing it over the years and they felt it was just, come on, nothing spectacular about it anymore. So you need to give them the impression that you have added a new value. at this point. So you either rebrand or you close up. So the options you have at this point at the decline stage is either to discontinue the product, remove it from the market completely. If not, you'll be running at a loss. If you don't want to do that, then the next thing for you is to revitalize, is to rebrand, is to re-engineer your product. At this point, I want to say, if you enjoyed this class, tell your friends about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. And we don't just do core accounting and finance calculations here. We do things that will help the average business owner. We teach financial literacy. So I urge you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Accounting and Finance Coach, and keep sharing our videos to reach someone. Thank you. If you enjoyed this class, keep a date with me tomorrow for another one.